for the people in the region.
President Trump wants Turkey now to be responsible for the ISIS prisoners who have been captured by the Kurdish forces over the past 2 years. I mean, how can that handover take place given the animosity between Turkey and the SDF Kurds?
A smart planning is really needed on this issue, because who will be doing this? Who will be transferring this ISIS militants to Turkey? Turkey can control it, but the process is a very big question mark and a very delicate issue. If the Kurdish forces and the Americans and the Turks, if all are against ISIS, what's the reason to discuss on this? They should be kept under control. They should be transferred to Turkey.
Now, Mr. Erdogan wants this safe zone to be reserved for the return of at least 1 million Syrian refugees who are now inside Turkey. But hasn't he also threatened to send a wave of Syrian migrants to Europe instead if the international community doesn't support the initiative to send them back to Syria?
President Erdogan is telling this for a while. It is not a very, convenient and viable process to make it, okay? It is not an easy thing because there are so many international obligations and treaties. It is not easy to let the Syrian refugees to Europe, but it is a fact which should be appreciated by the Europeans and the Americans, is that Turkey is having a very important role to control the refugee flow to Europe, and that's why it should be appreciated. But I don't think that it will be so easy to let all the Syrians go to Europe, but Europe should contribute. By the way, they are already contributing, but they should do much more than what they are doing. This burden should be shared by everybody, including the Americans and the Europeans.
All right, well, that's the view from the Turkish side, and here's another tweet from President Trump that's just come in. He says in his tweet, as I have stated strongly before, and just to reiterate, if Turkey does anything that I, in my great and unmatched wisdom, consider to be off limits, I will totally destroy and obliterate the economy of Turkey. I've done before. They must, with Europe and others, watch over. So there we are, another tweet from President Trump. That's the music from The Italian Job, the soundtrack by Quincy Jones. Are you the kind of person that likes a neat ending to your film, all the ends tied up? It's frustrating enough waiting for a sequel to a film with a cliffhanger ending, but what happens if that sequel never comes and you are left hanging, just like that coach teetering on an alpine ledge at the end of The Italian Job? It is one of the most famous film endings ever made, but we never did find out what happened to Charlie